You have returned. I must say that is brave and admirable, and now that you are here, you may never leave. Welcome back to Audio Stories 3 Terrifying Tales. Now without further ado, let us begin. I come to my senses with a start. It's like being jolted awake. One by one, my senses return. The cool countertop beneath my hand. The bitter smell of coffee stings my nostrils. The warmth of morning light through the window, my reflection staring back at me. I must be making coffee for my husband, Peter. The facts slowly tumble through my mind. Yes, Peter. I was making him coffee. Yes, that's right. It's just not been the same since the babies. I feel like a part of me is missing. There's just so much to do for them, so little sleep. It's no wonder I'm disorientated. Peter's lying in bed, dark hair tousled. Here, I say, passing him his coffee. Morning, he says. Hey, don't forget. Interrupted by a wail, long and high enough from the twins. Ow. A tug on my hair brings me back to reality. A gurgle of a baby. That's right. I'm drying the twins. They just had a bath. My hands are wrapped around the baby's little naked body. The other baby, I needed to learn how to tell them apart. The other baby is already dressed. I picked them up, surprising at my own strength. Peter stops me in the hall. What? Why isn't Branson dressed? Branson? Oh, yes, of course, the naked baby. It didn't occur to me. It's easy enough to keep track of, I think, as I dust the flour from my thighs, make coffee, drop the babies off at daycare, cook dinner, feed the babies, bathe the babies, dress them and put them to bed. It's muscle memory. I hardly have to be conscious through it all. I'm doing a good job, I think, reaching for the mixing bowl on the counter, covered in the leftover cake batter. It's not too tough, as I place a dirty mixing bowl on top of the fridge. I'm halfway up the stairs. What? I hear them creak under me. The carpet is so worn, it feels rough in my toes, and in my hand is a can of diced tomatoes, heavy in my palm, in my pajamas. An oversized shirt with dried baby vomit dribbling down the back. Coffee, of course, not tomatoes. Driving scares me the most as I stare at the wheel. I'm worried I'll zonk out or run a red light or something. I should stop driving the kids to daycare. Gosh, it's bright in here. The sun's in my eyes. My skin feels wet. I realise I can feel droplets dangling off the bottom of my chin. God, how long have I been here? It's so hot, I think, wiping my forehead with my hand. How long have I been here? Where are the twins? Sitting at my PC all night had become part of my routine. I'd log into it around midnight, spend hours playing games, chatting with my friends, or taking stupid online quizzes. I'd do anything except sleep, or have a healthy lifestyle, as my mum would put it. Everyone else in the house would go to bed early, and almost no one was ever up past midnight. I used to be alone in my room. Sometimes one of my parents would wake up for a drink of water. I'd know whenever that happened. My room was right next to the kitchen, so I knew when my brother entered my room last night. I was busy playing on my computer with my headphones on. It was unusual of him to come into my room, especially at such a late hour. I didn't think too much of it. Why would I? All I remember is he still had his work clothes on. He just came over to me, patted me on the back, put something on the bedside table and left. I didn't even look at him. The next morning I woke up to a very noisy house. The fact that it was still morning annoyed me a bit because I usually just woke up around mid-afternoon I got up from bed and went straight into the dining room where all the noise appeared to be coming from. My mum was on the phone with someone, frantically speaking while Dad talked to the cops present outside our house. What's wrong, Dad? I asked in a panicked tone. It's your brother. He didn't come home from work last night. But that's not possible. I saw him come into my room last night with my own eyes. You did? My father asked, more to himself than me. He had turned around, whispering something to the cops, and one of them headed outside of the house. I jogged back to my room to wash my face and change my clothes. As I entered my room, it suddenly occurred to me that he had left something on my bedside table last night, which I didn't bother checking before I went to sleep. I headed over there now, found a torn out, folded piece of paper. It had 3 sentences written on 3 lines. They aren't our parents. We aren't related. Get out of this town while you still can. I was shocked, scared, confused. It didn't make any sense, none of it. As I was still reeling from the effects of the words I just read, I heard footsteps approaching my room. A lot of them. A moment later, there was a knock at my door. Who is it? I asked, as calmly as I could. We need to talk, called out many voices in perfect unison. Stalking on buses and staring through windows, watching her closely or hiding in shadows. See that girlie all tied up with strings. These are a few of my favorite things. Cream-colored skin suits, crisp kidney strudel, doorbells and alarm bells, her liver with noodles, making my flight with the moon on my wings. These are a few of my favorite things. The girl's snow white skin crossed with bright open slashes, blood drops that stay on my nose and eyelashes, silver white razors flipped open with springs. These are a few of my favorite things. When the dogs bite, when the police scream, when I feel sad, I simply remember my favorite things, and then I don't feel so bad.